today we're going to bring out another battle box. This is for November. This is a self-reliance box. There's a lot of cool things in there. Now, one of the things about subscription services is they vary. A lot of them have good quality stuff, some not so much. But to me, the BattlBox is one of the best on the market, and they always provide way more than they cost. So we're going to take a look at all the different features, and we're going to go through and I'm going to show you some demonstrations on how a lot of this stuff works. All right, guys, we have another BattlBox opening. This is for November. It just came in, so we're going to check it out. Haven't even opened the box. I've just kind of cut the tape. This is the Self-Reliant box, Mission 33. Again, November 17th. Has all the items right here, and of course we'll take a look at that, and then it goes into a little more detail on the back. More fire starter. So I'm going to lay out everything out of the box, and we're going to look at what different tiers we have with each item. Now, here are the items that you get with the basic kit. It's $24.99 and the value is $54.94. We have the Speedy Stitcher. This is a sewing awl, and you can do a lot of different repairs, whether it's leather, canvas, a lot of really heavy materials. Now, the Speedy Stitcher comes already pre-threaded, and you get some extra thread as well. This is great for leather or really heavy materials, canvas definitely. And then you have your different needles right here, two different sizes. So we're going to pull one of them out, because right here you run your thread into the eye of the needle. Then we just reattach, and again you have your extra needles in there. Right here in the back we have our spindle, which of course is pulled through all the way in, as you can see. Again, all this is shown in the instructions. Now, since I don't have a piece of leather handy, we're going to just show you on this cardboard how it works. It's pretty simple. Once you get everything set up, and of course there are complete instructions, but you have this extra, and you're to have 3 inches over what you think you're going to need. Just bring your awl through, take that string, and just pull it all the way through. Now, this string has wax on it, so it makes it kind of tacky, which makes it nice. And then pull through, holding onto your string, and then you come through your second hole. Now, when you come through your second hole, make a loop and run that excess through the loop. And then we're going to bring it back out, and that's going to form your knot. And then we're going to come to the second hole, or the third hole, pull it through, get your loop enough to put your string through, and it should form when you pull the awl back out. Go ahead and bring it in, and then pull it. And you just keep doing that until you form your stitch, however long you want to go. It's really a very simple process, and of course with leather it's actually going to work better. But this is a great skill to have and a great tool to have. Next we have the open awl, and this is a French traditional little utility knife. Now, this kind of looks to me, when I first saw it, and I've known about these for a while, but when I first came across these I thought they looked kind of cheap. But this is old school. And if you really want to know a lot of information about it, Nothing Fancy does a great job describing the uses of this little knife. Now, the open awl definitely looks kind of cheap. These are made in France. These are traditional. They've been around for a long time. You bring the blade out, and of course you have a nice little wood handle. The blades are very thin, which gives you some flexibility. This, especially if a longer version, it would be great for like a fillet knife. This would be good for skinning, for food prep, things like that. It would be excellent because of that thinness. One thing too, though, is you'll notice there's no liner lock or there's no back lock, but right here at the metal part on this handle, you just turn it and it blocks the blade. And then when you're finished, you can bring it out and then be able to close this. This is a design that's been around since the 1800s, so it's a pretty cool old school type design. Here we're going to take a little bit of cardstock, and these knives right out of the box, as you can see, they are really sharp. And guys, and again, this is a utility knife, but we can still do some prep for Tinder, things like that if we need to. So it's just kind of old school, but yet it's got a lot of soul to it. The blade is 2 3/4 inches in length, and it weighs only 0.8 ounces. So guys, I'm telling you, it's something that's really handy. Next we have the Readyman Tinder Scraper, and this is a great way to be able to get tinder. It's really small and thin, so you can slide this anywhere. And that's one of the great things about this tool that really comes in handy. Plus it has a small saw blade on the side. It doesn't take long to come up with quite a few shavings. You can also use the card itself to collect your shavings into one spot. This tinder is very wet. The wood was wet, so it's going to make it a little difficult. You can see the smoke coming off. But this will give you an ember to be able to get a fire going. And we're using the packing material to get it going. And that's definitely dry. And then we have the marbles, and this is a sharpening tool. Actually, this is a back pocket dual grit tool sharpener. You have coarse and medium on either side, especially for your axe, a hatchet, even a knife. This could really come in handy to be able to keep your blade sharp in the field. Put a little bit of oil on your marble pocket puck sharpener. Of course, you can use this for any kind of tool. Go in circular motions and hit that edge. It suggests to use the medium side mostly because unless you have nicks, guys, there's nothing worse than trying to cut wood or anything else without a sharp blade. This can also be used for lawnmower blades and obviously knives. Here we go. We're working that edge. This is going to take some work, but I think this is up to it. And it's made just to slide into your back pocket. Now again, the basic box is $24.99 as far as cost. Once I put everything together, it came up to $44.84. And that was looking at some of the lowest prices I could find. So you're saving about 20 bucks with the first basic kit. Next is the advanced kit. It's $49.99. First you get one of the Condor, and this is the Kephart blade blank. So you get a knife that's already been sharpened, and then you get the blank to be able to add your walnut scales to it. Now obviously the knife project is going to take a lot of time, and these are dark walnut. You're able to use this, and then you have your rivets here. The knife is already pre-sharpened. In fact, I've already cut my finger. But you don't have to really do anything to the knife. It's mainly making these scales and putting them on here. Now, I have a link down below to Walter Sorrows. He does knife making, and he has a great video on how to put scales on your knife. So check that out. He actually uses just basic hand tools to show it. So I think that's a great way to look at it. But again, it's just going to take too long. But I think this is an incredible project to have for this kind of kit. Next we have the DF4 deadfall trap. One thing about trapping to me is there's a lot of skill that's involved in putting together a trap and to be able to be successful with it. And the way this works, it's just ingenious. Here we have the DF4 deadfall trap, and I'm going to activate it, and then I'm going to show you how to set it up. Now, this comes already attached. Right here you have your spear point. You can put a piece of bait right here. You don't necessarily have to have it. You can actually tie a string here and tie your bait to it. So anything that pulls this is going to activate the trap. Here you have this rounded off piece, and that's what sets and rests right on your trap. Right here you have a notch at the back, and you have a little angle. It fits right in here. So it's almost like a 4. And I'm sure that's what the 4 refers to. But now you have a good solid trap system right here. This is good and stable. Now it will bury itself in the ground, so putting something hard, and you can just put a piece of bark or anything and just place this in this position. Whatever's resting on here is going to hold this still. Here we've got our trap set up. I'm going to place it on the piece of wood. Then I'm going to bring this large log. It's pretty heavy. So this will kill a lot of different animals, especially very small ones. You can use large rocks and a number of other things. But as you see, we've got it well balanced. Right here is your bait point, and any small movement. I'm going to take this stick, just hitting that, and boom, you've got your trap. The great thing is this just packs away, makes it really easy to carry in your pack, takes up very little room. So again, with the advanced kit, you get the Condor Kephart blade blank with the walnut blocks, and you also get the deadfall trap. Now this, along with the basic kit, runs $49.99. Then the retail price, according to BattlBox, is $96.61. And after pricing it with the lowest prices, I still came up with $89.05. So still a great value on these items. Now for the Pro Kit, and that is all the items we've already shown, plus this little zombie Tinder bushcraft fire kit. Now first you get some Ranger bands that hold the kit together. You get a small tin, but this is one of the most comprehensive fire starting kits I've seen. We get our striker, a ferrocerium rod with magnesium handle. You get a fire cord that's wrapped around it. You get a flint with your steel, which also doubles for your bow drill. And for your base for your bow drill. You also get some different fire tinder, char cloth, some cotton balls with some impregnated fuel starter, and then we have one of the small little zombie little lighters, looks like a little head. Then we have some jute, also some standard paracord to go with your bow drill. And you get these small little caps that you can lock your fire steel around your neck, and then this just pops apart. Now this is fire cord, and it can light. There's even a small metal rod that runs through here, a little brass rod, but they have these little snaps, and what I do is just twist them on like so on either side. And what I'm doing is creating a small connection point where I can wear this around my neck, but if I need to, I can pop it off. We're going to melt the ends of this. You can see though that the cord itself will light. Now that holds into place. We can snap this together, and that way if we have it around our neck, we can just pop it free. Now this is called the FerroStrike V3 Mag, and it has the striker in the magnesium handle, and then you have your ferrocerium rod here. You can push the paracord through, and it allows you to loosen up your striker. As you can see, this is a carbon striker, and it's squared on one end, and then it's just round on the other. You can take your magnesium, get your shavings, does a pretty good job of getting those shavings off too. Strip that end a little bit. That coating usually kind of interferes. You can go ahead and strike and get that magnesium lit. And here we have it lit. We could put tinder around here and we can get a fire started really quickly. Take your striker, slide it back down, and just pull your cord, and it gives tension to the cord, and so it stays in one piece. This is a great little kit in itself. Here we have our jute, and this catches on fire pretty quickly. We want to just kind of spread it out. You can see how fast that catches very quickly. You can actually use this as a match as well. Here we have some of the jelly cotton. We're just going to pull out a little bit. There we go, one strike, we've got it lit. And that stuff burns great. Now we have flint, we have steel, and this is our striker, and we're going to put a little bit of char cloth right here on the edge. We're going to see if we can get a spark out of this. And really we're just trying to get an ember. You can see right here we have a small ember, and we can get a fire going with that. Now the striker also is a super socket right here that we can do a bow drill and put our piece of wood in here and get it started. Unfortunately, we have had tons of rain and all the wood is just super wet. So I'm gonna have a real hard time starting a fire. But there are a lot of different demonstrations of showing the bow drill method to start fire. And this is a great tool to get started. Now, one thing about this tool is it'll fit through your belt, and then you can just carry it like this, especially if you're outdoors. This belt's a gun belt, and unfortunately it's just too thick. But for your standard belts, you should be able to do that, or you could even put this on a backpack, on the straps, or something like that to keep this really handy. And now for the zombie tinder. This is something they specialize in. They do different formulas for different climates, even rainforest, deserts, high mountains. So there's a different formula. So we're just going to go ahead and light it. And of course it lights like a cherry bomb, so let's hope it doesn't blow up. But you definitely got a lot of fire before you even get to the body or the zombie head or whatever this is. One thing too to note is that all the materials I'm showing from the zombie tinder kit are made in the USA, which makes it pretty cool. Still burning strong. It's been going for about 2 minutes. So I think we've got a good way to start fire with these. Now the zombie tinder bushcrafter fire kit runs $59.95, and that is the price on it. With the advanced and the basic kit to go along with the pro, the cost is $99.99. And according to BattlBox, it's $156.56 value. And after adding everything up, I got the price at $149. So for $99.99, you're getting a $149 value. Now for the Pro Plus, and this includes all the other items that we've already shown, it's the Knife of the Month Club, and we've got one of the Condor primitive bush knives, and this is designed by Matt Graham. Now these are made in El Salvador. In fact, they've got a really high quality production facility down in El Salvador, which all the Condor knives are coming from. I have had nothing but great success with these knives. I have a number of different Condor knives, and they are just excellent. The retail price on this knife is $105. Of course, last but not least, we have the Matt Graham Condor primitive bush knife. Has a very unique profile to it. It's got a Scandi grind on it. You have a false spear point right here. This is not ground. It's 3 millimeters thick, so it's got a nice thick blade. It's 420 high carbon stainless steel, so you've got a lot of strength to it. It's going to be fairly easy to sharpen. In fact, I saw one guy actually just put this in a piece of log and then step on it, and the blade just held very well. So it's got some nice heat treating. Has a hardwood handles, and of course you see the eyelets. The sheath is a nice leather sheath, well stitched, has a really great feel to it, very high quality. Has the Condor logo right here embossed. There's no belt loop. You have a small little tab that connects with your belt to keep it from sliding, and the knife goes in really tight. It's not going to come out. In fact, really, I take my thumb here and just pull it and get the knife out that way. We do have this hole that's in the blade, and this is the eye of the Condor. It's part of just the way Condor does a lot of their larger knives. And of course we have the small lines, so it gives it a really nice look to it. I haven't touched this knife at all as far as the edge. Just some pretty decent curls. Great for fire tinder. And this wood's pretty seasoned. It's really hard, so still able to do a good bit of work on this little board. It's going to give you a lot of good fire tinder right there. This blade's definitely made for chopping. Has good balance to it. A little bit blade heavy. This is an old dead piece of pine. Chops pretty good. The handle's really smooth. It's hardwood. I'd probably like to see a little more palm swell in here, but it seems to do fine. Of course, we want to always show some batoning. You've got a good edge on here to get a lot of batoning done. This should be a breeze. Good stuff. So everything that we've seen so far is included with this kit for $149, and yet the knife itself is $105. So according to BattlBox, that's $261.56. But according to all the prices that I found, this is still $254. So that's a great price for $149.99. Now BattlBox sent the box for the review. We do have a link down below. You can click on it and you get a 10% off using Summer 10, and so that'll give you 10% off your first order. And so BattlBox and I are working together on this because I have just been so impressed with these boxes that I think this is something to definitely take a look at. You're getting things that you would not even know about otherwise, and you know, it's just a lot of fun. So check out BattlBox and go to battlebox.com, and again, Summer 10 for 10% discount. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. Some impregnated Vaseline with cotton ball kind of stuff per level, per what box they come in. At what different tiers we have with each item. First saw it, I was thinking, wow, that's kind of weird. Weird. It's kind of weird. Okay.